overlooking Lake Ontario on this gorgeous sunny day in May. And in fact, it is the Scorpio Full Moon, and I'm glad to be celebrating here with you, Fellowship of Wizards, because I'm your happiness navigator, pollinator of positivity, shape-shifting woman wizard. That's me, Melissa Mojo B, here to buzz with you to share some magic as we come together to co-create for peace, protection, and prosperity of thee and thine loved ones. Let's have some water together. This is Reiki charged water because I'm also a trained Reiki master. And one thing we can all do to train up, well, we're all training. We're all in training here, fellow wizards, and that is never something that ends. That's why I was uncomfortable with the Reiki master idea, because I kind of thought it was a label. And the idea is that, you know, we're always mastering, but yeah, it's okay to be a teacher, and it's okay to step into those roles. And anyways, what I was going to say is we can all level up our water, structure it, as they say, with energy, just by saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, and thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's what I'm saying to you today as we come into this beautiful, sacred, fun circle, because this is the sacred fun room. At first, I was going to call it the sacred room, and then I thought, why wouldn't we add a little fun to that? And something I also love to remind us is that we're all wizards, and that sacred play is very important. So let's play together today. Refresh, reflect, release, and renew, for the Scorpio moon is afoot. And the Scorpio full moon comes in May because it's the opposite end of the calendar. So what happens is the new moon is in the sign of now, what's going on currently every month. So whatever sign our current month is in, our new moon will be in that. And the opposite side of the zodiac is the full moon for that month. So that's kind of interesting. It took me a while to figure that out. It's just a nice little tidbit. So I'm just going to pause here briefly as I share out, and I encourage you to share. Please do, continue to buzz with me as I think when I share out on YouTube that it pauses for a brief moment, but we're going to come back with tunes, talk, and tarot, because that's what we do here with our Magic Mondays variety show. We're going to play some guitar. I have a song picked out, which is rare because usually we just kind of go boom, boom, boom and see what song pops up, but one came on the radio, and so that's the one we're going to start with. And who knows, if you have requests, please pop them in the chat. Hello, everyone. Wonderful to have you here. Thanks for buzzing with me, your happiness navigator, pollinator of positivity. We're here in Toronto, Ontario, overlooking Lake Ontario. Maybe I'll even just take you out there just for a little brief. We'll walk through the hive here. The tree hive in the sky is a busy little place, and lots of magical things everywhere. And I will come out to the deck, and I will show you the beautiful sunny place that we're at. It's very, very nice, okay? All right, let's see. Flip. I think they made this flip easier now. For a while you had to go into that was TikTok. Yes, so this is Lake Ontario. Right down there, the one that's lower is the Gardiner Expressway, and that's heading westbound. And the other one that's kind of goes above and across is the Lakeshore, and there's a beautiful path across there that's actually like a trans-international trail that people can bike just all across Canada on this trail. This section of it is called the Martin Goodman Trail, and it's one of our favorite places to walk. Down that away, you'll see Sunnyside Beach and the Pavilion. And that right there is the Boulevard Club, the one with the big white building. And then further down, we see more of the beaches, and we come to the Humber River Bridge opening. And then further past that, we have the butterfly habitat and the small man-made island out there. And onwards, all towards Burlington and Niagara, and across the water there, we would have Rochester somewhere, where we briefly had a ferry to at some point in time. So yes, I would love to play some Zach Brown. I think I've never played Zach Brown on the show. but that would be fun. So let me know if you're still here, Alicia. We'll make that happen. And let's just get tucked back in here in our cozy spot. Have some more water. We'll start with a little sound bath here. It's always good to get freshened up, right? Reminder to drink your water, which we've now charged with Reiki. And reminder to me to share this out before I forget. So just hold on. I'll be right back, and we're going to play some Tibetan bowl. We'll hum together to increase that vibration. For our intentions is the true magic. So set your intentions while I slip away for just a second. Share this out, and you can do the same if you don't mind or if you're inclined. Okay, I'll be right back. One more. Okay, I'm back, and I'm not going anywhere this time. All right. Thanks, everybody. Is that Olivia? Oh, that's even prettier. Hello, Rambo. Hello, Ariane. Hello, Mustafa. Bonsoir. Oh, let's just hum. Energy, frequency, and vibration. It's what we're all made of. It's one of the reasons I could really get behind Reiki. Oh, thank you, Colleen. You're so lovely, and I really appreciate your comments. So, find a comfortable spot. Maybe you'd like to put your hand over your heart as we firm up our intentions, clarify, reflect on the past month since the last full moon and what has happened, what we would like to release. I got some shivers there. We are definitely releasing for people out here in the ethers, and also for yours truly, because it is not really you and I, it is we. Always we, as we come together. So I'm gonna hum, and you can hum if it feels divine. Or you can om. Still ringing. Oh, those vibrations in this one last quite a while. So we're gonna pull some cards. We're gonna have a little chit chat about this and that, like we do. I'm still pretty stoked from the art crawl in Hamilton on Friday night. Thanks to Jenny Joy for coming out. Thanks to Jen Leonard for being such a support and helping me get ready. And for helping me take the new thumbnail for the live streams. So Hamilton Art Crawl was amazing. We got to go out with the Fellowship of Wizards and have a magical table full of art and sparkly things. And we met so many sparkly people, and there were so many wizards. There was real wizards walking around, and I was just filming, around where we were at our booth. And so in Art Crawl in Hamilton, Ontario here is on the second Friday of every month from, I think it's April, yeah, to October. And they just close down the street and people are allowed to vend their art for free. It's amazing. And it's quite the crowd of unusual, authentic people, and I just loved it. There was a lot of dressed up people, just everyone being their true self, and I really love that. I love the grassroots nature of it, and that it's really not organized per se, although they shut the streets down. It is not run by anybody in particular, and it's just a free place to be and share art and share music. So we were actually sandwiched right between two musicians who were playing, and they were cross-pollinating a little bit in the booth where we were. So that was a little bit difficult to happily navigate, but we did. And therefore, I wasn't doing what we usually do, which is sing and play with us. So you get a chance to sing, and I might play guitar, and we have some percussion instruments, and we get everybody involved. So we'll be doing that all over the place this summer, warm season, because even before it gets to be summer, we have some of the best festivals in Toronto. Due West Fest is coming up June 5th and 6th weekend. Absolutely stunning free festival. Big on Bloor sometime in July. A Little Italy festival is June 12th and 13th weekend, and that's also the next time there will be an art crawl. So come down and join us at one of these things. And we also love, one just jumped right out there for us. This is our animal spirit cards. Come and join us on the boardwalk somewhere, anywhere. Sometimes we go to Trinity Bellwoods here in Toronto, or we can come to your town. So do let us know where you're at. Oh my gosh, Bobcat came out the same one as last time. Jumped right out. Life is a mystery. All right, well, you can go back and watch rewatch last week's, because we actually read Bobcat Spirit. I don't usually do reading, but we were kind of told to read that one last week, so we read the whole thing. So you can go back and check that one out. It's still posted under the live section in the videos area, the playlists at the top. You can see live and go back and catch last week's, where right at the very beginning we pull our animal spirit card, which is, oh, that's what it is. I need to get us to knock, 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 knock. Can you knock for me? Oh, there it is. I heard that 3 knocks. Thank you. As we get in there and we get the message together. It was telling us, okay, that was the message from last week. Dove spirit just kind of popped out, but we're going to take one more. That's be peace. So embody peace, and I've been feeling that a lot lately. Instead of wondering what's going on or trying to get people to firm up their plans, or really fussing about anything in general, I just embody peace and say, when the time comes, we'll figure it out. And if it works for me at that time, great. And if it doesn't, then we'll do something else. So I think that makes it easier than putting all this pressure on situations, and just kind of being peace and being like, hey, as that comes forward, we'll decide what to do then. Interesting. I love this. Flamingo spirit. Flamingo has been in my mind a lot in the past couple of weeks. I actually have had an urge to paint a flamingo, so maybe I'll take this as some inspiration and get into doing some artwork and having some divine play that way with color therapy, chromotherapy, and our flamingo friend. Okay, so this guy says, this guy, girl, they says, embrace the in-between. So I think so many of us are embracing the in-between, and that goes along with Bobcat here, and life is a mystery, right? So funny, because actually right after the show on Friday, I had a conversation about the in-between and how it may feel like it's in between, but it's always now. So the gift is truly to stay in the now and not feel in between, because sometimes in between can feel not at peace because it doesn't feel like we're there. So we can reframe that, we can revise that, we can have a new vision of that, and embracing that life is a mystery, right? We can be at peace, like the one that went back in, that was the dove. It also says, be playful and broke. That's the sandpiper, which is in one of my paintings also. And the butterfly spirit, transformation is beautiful, right? So as we see ourselves understanding that life is a mystery and being at peace with that, right? Accepting, like I said, deciding what's good for us. So beautiful boundaries make life being a mystery okay, because we can be at peace with that as long as we say, whatever comes along, I'm going to protect my peace first. So, the people pleasing empath thing, that's part of the old paradigm, as is the other side of that. So as we go, we can start dropping this in between feeling, which can feel like anxiety, or like we're not there yet, or we're past that other ideal point we were at, when actually we are just exactly where we need to be in the present. It's not really in between. It feels like in between. So embracing that is embracing where we're at today. So what I love to say is every divine day instead of every damn day, right? And then we get to choose heaven on earth with that very thing in mind. So the being playful part is embracing that in between, and reminding ourselves, hey, we're not in between. Today is the perfect day. Every single day. I am perfectly aligned in divine time every moment of every day. And therefore, we can be playful. We don't have to feel, but on these days when we're meant to celebrate. And butterfly spirit, that transformation is beautiful when we go from maybe we could have been moping about life as a mystery and where's it going, and is that person going to call, or is that situation going to pan out, or where is my place, where are my people, and all that, instead of just loving the caterpillar stage and knowing that the transformation isn't over there. It's right now. It's happening. It's not later. It's always. Always. So that's our messages from the animal kingdom. We usually only get one. We got many in that one, but that was a nice little thread. Let's see. So I haven't heard from Olivia, if she's still around to hear her song. But what I'll do is, if I don't see her back today, I'll play through a Zach Brown song for the next time we come together to play together. And in the meantime, I'm going to sing one here by, what are they called? The Chainsmokers? I think that's what they're called. Yeah. I remember when I was a chain smoker. That was about 10 years ago. No, maybe even more now. We're probably at least at year 11 since no cigarettes. Maybe longer, maybe 15 years. I mean, it's been a long time. I think it was around 2010, 2011 that I quit cigarettes, and it's been nearly a decade since I stopped drinking altogether. Every once in a while I have these dreams that I was drinking. I had one last night, actually. And I always wonder, how did it happen? And then I remember, it happened with just one or two, thinking, I'll just be social. And there's been a couple times in my life since I quit drinking that I thought, well, maybe I should start drinking again, just a little bit. Because it wasn't a problem for me. I actually quit because I was dating a type 1 diabetic who really couldn't drink, but kept drinking. And so I was doing it to encourage them, and I'd had my own problems with binge drinking, and I have fibromyalgia, so it's not great for me to drink. It's an inflammatory, it's a neurotoxin, and we can do without it. There's beautiful elixirs on this planet that do not need to have that. There's adaptogenic drinks out there now. It's getting better and better and better to support that whole thing. But 10 years ago when I did it, it was hard. It's always hard to say that, but it was not the coolest thing. I felt like I was outcast from a lot of friend circles, and it took me a while to get to understanding that it was a bit of a superpower, saying, no, I don't drink, but I can stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning, play music the entire time, drive everybody home in Bessie the Enchanted Blue pickup truck, or the pick us up truck, as I like to call her, and just love life even more, and keep the plans that I make for the next day. Because I used to chain smoke, chain drink, get excited about the next day, and then feel horrible and not be able to do anything the next day. So I'm so grateful for my life. And I'm so grateful for all the experiences as they've moved through that have made me who I am. And I love this little life. And I'm grateful to share it with you. Hi, Christina. It's great to see you here. And Spirits, wonderful. Hello, Kenneth. So yeah, this one's called Something Just Like This. And it does talk a little bit about, that superhero in all of us just by being who we are. It doesn't have to be something so spectacular, because it is. Just being here in this Earth experience is pretty miraculous. Of all of the planets, in all of the cosmos, and all of that, just everything. You and I are here right now to sing this song. So thanks for that. I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Hercules and his gifts, Spider-Man's control, and Batman with his fists. And clearly I don't see myself upon that list. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. Do-do-do-do-do. 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 Oh, I want something just like this. Do-do-do-do-do. I want something just like this. I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, the testaments they told, the moon and its eclipse, and Superman unrolls the suit before he lifts. But I'm not the kind of person that it fits. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can miss. I want something just like this. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, I want something just like this. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, I want something just like this. Do-do-do-do-do. Da-da-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, I want something just like this. Do-do-do-do-do. 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 Oh, I want something just like this. Just like this. Exactly, the message is just like this. Just like today is our perfect day. We're not really in between anything. So the card said embrace the in-between. And part of embracing the in-between is understanding we're never in between. We're always on the divine path, exactly where we're meant to be. And it can feel in between. It can feel that way, but if we're truthful with ourselves, we will understand. Absolutely. We're not in between. We're looking for something just like this, just like today. And I am ever grateful that we get to share that knowledge of the perfect day that is every day. And I know it's like we want to be in resistance, but what about this? But what about that? But what about the money? But what about, the slavery in the world? What about? Yes, I know. But it's all there for a reason. Kind of like the cosmos. If we look at, the black hole or a supernova, it seems kind of scary. And maybe there was too much dark or too much explosiveness there and too much light in the Milky Way. Nah, couldn't be, right? So we trust it. Hi, Edinburgh Roofer. Yay! Wonderful to buzz in here today and co-create this magic together. And as they say, when two flames when they come together, they burn brighter. And that's exactly what happens as we share intentions for a wonderful future. Instead of worrying, right? Worrying is negative faith. Instead of worrying about that, we come together and have faith here together, and we send that out like this. Yeah. So let's sing another song, and I'm not sure what it is. Because, I do know a little bit of Chicken Fried by Zach Brown, and I love it, but I've never played it. So I think I'll just wait on that and then play it next week, because it will be fun to play, though. And then we'll just see what else comes up. Or perhaps we'll pull open a tab. Anybody got any other... Get closer to it, the fog clears and becomes known and clear. Yes. Yeah, so it may feel like we're in between. As you say, if we're in the fog, it might feel like there's nothing around us, right? So it might feel like we're in between things, but are our feet not on the ground? Are we not still breathing the air, right? Perhaps our feet are not on the ground, perhaps we're flying, but either way, we are proceeding. And I know in AA, which wasn't the way that I stopped drinking, I just stopped drinking, but I have visited the halls with friends, and including my ex, as he was wasn't so easy for him, and he actually didn't make it in this life. Well, he made it his perfect length of life, but he's just passed here in February, and that was sad. He's younger than me. So to look at those things and understand that we're in this breath, in this life, to appreciate where we are, and understand that progress is perfection. So in those halls, they say progress, not perfection, but really in progress is perfection. So instead of that being a negative statement, right? Progress, not perfection. We can understand if it is what it is right now in this moment, nothing can be changed in this perfect present. Perfect. It has to be, because it can't be any other way. So, it can't be any other way right now. So if we can accept that it's perfect in the moment, like I said, and then choose how we're going to make that work for us, that's acceptance at its peak ability to be magical, because we can then say, okay, well, I'm curious about how things are going to go, because we don't really know where it is in the fog. But if I keep flying, or if I keep walking and I keep breathing and I keep loving, I let my heartbeat lead me, I will always arrive at my destination, and the fog's clear. And then the fogs come again. I was thinking today about how blossoms come every year, right? And it's like, it hit me in a way that I was like, oh, it is very much like a human life, in the way that we blossom, and some people blossom and just like stay a lot of blossoming, but those people generally are people who've not had a lot of trauma, and that's pretty rare in the world that we're in right now. So a lot of people are blossoming and peaking, and then having and myself included, right? So I've gone through so many phases of the awakening, or the enlightenment, as you might call it, where we blossom, and then there's just this deep dive, and it's not a negative thing. It's like it really is like a swan diving down down into the water and being deep and still being able to find nutrients down there, right? To that we had a sacred fire the other day, and this swan came. It was all by itself, and it first it came and its wings were just held up, and it was very unusual how it was sort of making itself big. And it wasn't in order to keep us placated or anything. It wasn't scared of us at all. In fact, it came over past us, and it was doing exactly that. It was dark black water, and this swan is just reaching its neck all the way down to the bottom of the lake and finding nutrition down there. And that's what we do as we go into these phases. And like the trees here as a human, I feel like there's such a short window of the blossoming before before we we often go into sort of a maintenance mode, which is beautiful. It's like the leafy tree during the summer, right? And then we get that dormancy or deep dive. And that's a pattern that's not only for trees, it's for we. So let's have what's the word? Reverence. Reverence is one of the highest vibrations we can have. Awe and reverence. So if we look outside at nature and we see that blossoming and have reverence for how it comes back from a stick into these majestic, like I'm watching the magnolias fall right in Toronto. They've been so full, and the blossoms are falling today. It's sort of like the last day. There's no more peak magnolias in Toronto. That's it for this year. But boy, do they ever show their full magnificence, and that's okay. In fact, it's fantastic, and it's not in between, right? It's not really in between anything. Beautiful. Nobody's ever gonna, can I see that? I think they hide some of these. Nobody's ever gone, they live on in you. Thank you, Logan. That is the perfect thing to say. And you're so true. And so right about that, and true-hearted to speak that. Thank you for sharing that. That's lovely. And so true. I remember one time really getting the understanding that once something has touched our story, it can never go away. And it was about something as silly as a shirt that I kept thinking about when I was drinking back in the day. I was at this party in Columbus, Ohio when I was 18 years old, story time. And in Columbus, Ohio, I was singing, playing guitar, and experiencing life at 18, 19 years old. And I wasn't even old enough to be drinking in the bars, but they had keg parties everywhere there. And sometimes I would get into the bars and do open stages and win a couple $100 or whatever. But this night I was out, and there's a campus in Columbus, Ohio. So I was campus crawling on the streets, and we were going to these different parties, and a keg of beer there is about as cheap as a case of beer here. So a lot of beer, and American beer is hard on the system. And I think it did a lot of damage on me at that point in time that I've spent years coming back from. But I went up this long flight of stairs on the outside up to the attic apartment of this one place, because there was like a keg on each floor type of thing. We ended up at the top, and I stayed up there because the party was good until I was like quite lit, as the kids would say now. And I went down the stairs, and I realized I'd left my leather shirt. It was a leather shirt that had a Chinese collar on it and some pleats on the sleeve, and it was just like nothing I'd ever seen before. So there was a guy who was keen, and he was going to go upstairs and get my shirt for me. So I let him go up the stairs and get my shirt for me. And he came back down with this yellow shag sweater. Do you remember in the 90s or 2000s how they had those shag sweaters that were like iridescent polyester shag? And so that ended up being what I ended up taking home, because I didn't really want to go back up the stairs and deal with that. And I figured somebody probably already taken my leather shirt and left me that shag sweater instead. So I ended up with this shag sweater, and I didn't have very many clothes because I was living in the States. So the next thing I end up meeting this artist, and his house is, I got to look that guy up on my new Facebook, because there's so many people I haven't connected with again. But Christopher Buffoni is his name. And he's a very Picasso-esque actually type of painter, and his entire house was art. From like, as soon as you walked up, the fence had art. Everything was art in this house. It was amazing. And so I met him, and he was a New Jersey artist, and we're in Columbus, Ohio, and he decides he wants to take me to this art show. And so I was like, okay, but I wasn't thinking it was like a fancy thing. It was super fancy. And here I am in the yellow shag sweater with green velour pants, looking like a sunflower, like Post Malone. And he comes to get me in this car, and I couldn't get in the passenger seat. I had to crawl in from his side or get through the window like Dukes of Hazzard. Then I felt like I might be captured up in this car. Then we started driving it, and it was a rainstorm, and the rain's coming down, and he didn't have windshield wipers working either. And we were in the middle of downtown Columbus. And then when we get there, I'm all, ooh, already. I'm young still too, right? And my nerves are all, and then we walk in, and it's like a black tie event, and this guy is like typical New Jersey in like a striped shirt. I swear, like this kind of stripe that just happens to be sitting here right now. And overalls, short overalls. And him and I go into this black tie event at the art gallery of Columbus or whatever, downtown, and all these hoity-toity people there dancing around. Anyways, it was hilarious, and I ended up calling my friend and being like, come and get me, I just can't handle it. So the anxiety of that was much but it was a very fun time and a very good story. And so thanks to Christopher Buffoni, after all these years, I would probably react differently nowadays. I would have just loved it and just danced around too. So, you know, it takes us all different timings to find our true authenticity. And I love that he was teaching me that early on. So let's find another song. And while we're at it, looks like the fairies want to come out to play today. We'll pick one here from the Oracle of Fairies. Nobody's ever gone to live on in you. Yeah, so that whole idea of something touched you, it will never leave you. It's part of your stories, right? So just like that shirt, it will never leave, because I will always remember and it will always bring up a great story. So thanks for that, Logan. You brought up that whole story time from your comment. I appreciate that. All right. Oh, yes. Everyone, knock, knock, knock. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, what have we got here? Fairies. Shall we pick 3? Let's try to pick 3. Thanks for being here today. Oh, there we go. There's number 1. Flip it. Healing. Healing is such an interesting word. It's kind of like that Reiki master thing where I'm like, I kind of have an aversion to this, and why? And so I've asked myself, and it's because it implies that there's something wrong with us, that again, it's sort of that in between. So are we in between, or are we already like perfect? So since we know that was the chord there saying, yes, this strikes a chord. That healing is also what we tell dogs to do, to stay by our side. And sometimes if we're always looking to be healing, we're not understanding that we're already perfect. So what we can think of it as instead is evolving. That's how I prefer to think of it, because it doesn't stay by you, and it doesn't keep you in that in between, and you understand that in fact we are always progressing. Hi Paul, it's wonderful to see you back. Thank you so much for finding your way here today. We're just talking about healing, and how I prefer to think of it as evolving, because instead of thinking we're in between or we're less than, and that one day we'll be greater than, we realize that we're perfect right now, and that we're always in the perfect progression, aka evolution. Healing is also what we say to a dog to keep it beside us. So sometimes when we think we're always needing to be healing, we're actually keeping that thing, which we talked about last week when we talked about saying mine about chronic pain, or mine about things that we don't want anyway, that it can be like Gollum and the ring, that we end up not realizing, oh shoot, I'm keeping that thing really close to me and feeling like it's something that I need. So healing, aka evolving. says, now is a time for you to give or receive healing, evolution, and nurturing is another wonderful way to think of that word, because nourishment and nurturing someone. So it's saying now is a time for you to give or receive healing, aka nurturing, right? And when we nurture someone else, it also helps them evolve, and it also helps us evolve. And it says everyone has a natural ability to heal others. Yes, even you. And it's so true that all of us are wizards. All of us have this power that's called Reiki, universal life force, comes out of the portal in our hands here, comes out of our third eye. And we can use hands and we can use thought to really just change things. So, you know, at first thought that I needed symbols, and I love the Reiki symbols and I love hands-on, but I started to experience more magic even in the distance Reiki sessions, which we now call CREATE sessions, because it's cosmic rainbow energy. We're all made of that, right? Reiki means universal life force energy. Well, what else are we than that? And then when I think about universal life force energy, what does that look like? It looks like nebula and rainbows. And the more I started treating with Reiki, each chakra point gets treated. So the first one is like this. And the second one's like this, right? The third one, these are all things that we do, is like the top of our head, the back of our head, 4, 5, 6, or 6, 7, and then 8, our sacral, and 9, our root. So as I was going through those, and they all have a color, I would start asking, I had the intuitive hit to ask, what is in the color? Say we're at the crown, the purple, which also has a note. Each chakra has a note and a color. So this is B, bzz, B at the top, at the crown. So we'll use that as an example. If I was treating the crown, so we're up here or up here, those are both for the crown. And I was doing that, say, on a proxy for distance, and the person wasn't there, and I'm thinking about them, or I'm not thinking, I'm in trance state actually. And I would ask, is there an image in this purple? And I might get something like a bunch of grapes. And then I would think, sometimes what happened was they started popping out these images. And then I thought to ask, because I had thought, well, these images are like symbols, like dream symbols. So can I go into those dream symbols then after and think, what does grapes mean? Well, grapes means plenty, right? It means bountiful. So I started to experiment with that and see that there was a lot of imagery coming into this cosmic rainbow energy that was coming through. And that every time we cleared one of these chakras, that it would actually turn into the rainbow itself, like a waterfall of Kundalini energy, like a column of rainbow coming through, like that mist of a waterfall, right? That would clear those. And so those images started to become sentences. They started to become paragraphs, and they started to be magical manifestos of sometimes 2,000 words in a half an hour session that just come pouring out. And so I record them and then we put them into words. And these are what we call the CREATE sessions. And you too can do that with practice. So CREATE, cosmic rainbow energy. And I asked if we were going to call this a modality and we were going to make this available to everyone, what would we call it? And universe said CREATE. And I said, okay, cosmic rainbow energy, because we've been saying that. But what about the last part? And it said activate, transmute, evolve. And if you think about that, it just is the perfect progression, right? As we were talking about perfection, cosmic rainbow energy. So it's like calling that cosmic rainbow energy in and then saying activate, transmute, evolve. And activation is when we have a lot of feelings about something, whether it's good or bad, right? They say stress can come in many ways. It can come from difficult times, but it can also come from weddings and birthday parties and all kinds of stuff. So as we get activated, there is a moment there where we can actually become the alchemist and transmute that energy into evolution, instead of being like, whoa, this is too much, and resisting, right? What ends up persisting. So as we use this activation to understand, hey, I'm being activated. Anytime we're feeling overwhelmed or activated, good or bad, overwhelmingly so, that's a great time to look at, oh, what's happening here, and how is it for me? I know it's happening to me as well, which is we're not going to dismiss we're not going to call it a victim mentality. People are legitimately victimized, and people are legitimately overwhelmed by good things, and it's okay. It's all perfect. So when we accept that and we just love ourselves in the moment, it's a game changer. And that's also how we can help others, as it's saying, be of assistance here with that nurturing, with that calming, with that reminder to others that we don't need to stress and strain, that we're exactly where we're meant to be, and just take it, one step at a time. I remember I was doing a Reiki session for my little sister one time, and it was hard times for me. It was right as Billy had kind of chosen to stay on his life path and he was leaving. And the same day, another girl that was working for us got totaled at work on the client's booze doing the Reiki cleansings. And we weren't quite into the Reiki part yet. So I was doing that, but she wasn't quite there. And we hadn't implemented that into the blissness yet. And I was supposed to go to a very important medical appointment. That wouldn't happen. Anyways, it was a terrible day. And I had gone to my sister's and done this Reiki for her. And somehow it activated in her some issues that she had with me. And so she called me up after I'd had this bad day and was also like, I don't know if we should have done that and this and that. And then she realized that I'd had this terrible day because my mom had a chat with her, and she called me back and she said, that must have been a terrible day for you. And I said, no, it was actually a really great day because I stayed true and loving, and I held space for her to have her feelings. Everyone has a right to feel their feelings about everything. And but while I was doing that session, the most important quote came through while I was just over her feet doing the Reiki, and it said, when you're hand in hand with the divine, there's no possibility for a misstep. So in other words, once we've decided to live from our heart, which is truly being one with all, compassionate, living from the heart, wanting to do the greatest good, there is no possibility for a misstep. It's only perfect all the time. I'm so glad, Kenneth, Spherus the Wizard, that you have adapted that, and by you doing that, you're just spreading that. As this card's saying, you yourself are also bringing that rainbow. Look, she's got rainbow energy right in her hands there. You're bringing that and that understanding to the people around you, which is it's a powerful understanding, and it just means that we're not always feeling less than. I remember that was another big thing that I understood at one point. It's just like, we're always feeling less than, but we're never less than. We're always equal to. There's never a less than. There's never an in between. We're always here and going up. We're not going down. It's not. And it may look that way. It may even look that way for certain situations and certain, the way of the world, but it's really not. It's all in its divine progression. So what are we gonna play? Let's play did I play Drops of Jupiter recently? I can't remember, guys. I'll play Fade Into You. It's a nice little song, since it's here, if it wants to. Ooh, so how is everyone today? Hi, Tom. How are you? How are you doing, Paul? Are you feeling good today? Oh, come on there. My tablet, as we were saying last time, could use to get a new one. It's being finicky. I'm having a little procedure that my sensitive self may take. It may take it a little bit harder. So we'll see how that goes. But if I need to take some time off next week, you'll know why. And what I will be doing is actually delving into just learning more songs by heart, because I'm a bit of a mimic and I can play lots of stuff. But I got put off memorization I did a lot of memorization when I was younger, and I put a lot of stress on myself and was quite the perfectionist. I'm sure many of you can understand that. I think a lot of people who are people pleasers are also innate perfectionists, not understanding that it's all perfect, right? So I was really hard on myself if I would make any mistakes. So I love these little tablets because I can play hundreds of songs, and there right is in front of me. I likely will not, flub the words at least. But I've really gotten much easier on myself. So I think it would be great if I have some time in the next couple of weeks. I'm just gonna give myself a little intensive and get learning some songs, so that when the tablet's not up and running, that we can still have an hour or so of good tunes. Anyways, let's I think I did play this one recently, Drops of Jupiter. Let's play a different one. It came up though. I'm like, oh no, it's working. We'll play it again. I want to play something different. Okay, what is it gonna be? What is it gonna be? It's beautiful out, Paul, and you're in Toronto too, aren't you? If I recall. Let's do. Oh yeah, we'll do the Joker because I put a video of that out recently, and so a few of you might have been singing it lately. So now we can sing it together live. Yeah, so you're here enjoying the last of the magnolia blossoms too, as they come to an end, and the cherry blossoms kind of came to an end in the last few days. So now we're into crabapple and getting almost to lilac season. I'm so excited. Hi, Chad. Yay. Oh, I love you people. All right. We'll play the Joker, Steve Miller Band. Some people call me the space cowboy, yeah. Some call me the gangster of love. Some people call me Mojo, yeah, 'cause I speak of the bumpiness of love. People talking about me, baby, say I'm doing you wrong, but don't you worry, baby, don't worry, 'cause I'm right here, right here, right here, right here alone. 'Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I get my loving on the run. Ooh, ooh. Well, you're the cutest thing that I ever did see. I really love your peaches, wanna shake your tree. Lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey, lovey-dovey all the time. Ooh, baby, I shall show you a good time. 'Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. Playing my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I sure don't wanna hurt no one. Ooh, ooh. I'm a lover and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I sure don't wanna hurt no one. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I can't wait to be playing and singing and dancing with you all in the warm weather out here on the boardwalks and such. You know, we always have some percussion instruments so everybody can play along. And speaking of play along, I think I'm going to finish up with The Wait. And that's another one that we sang at Fatima in the Alley Gallery. If you don't know about it, buzz with me, Melissa Mojo B on Facebook, and I will point you in the direction of a very cool place to hang out that is different than any other spot that you've been. And actually, this isn't the one we played there. We played Cripple Creek, but we'll play this one. This one is The Wait. So, I pulled into Nazareth. I was feeling about half-assed dead. I just needed some place where I could lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? Just grinned and shook my hand, and no was all he said. Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny, and put the load right on me. Picked up my bag, I went looking for a place to hide. When I saw Carmen and the devil walking side by side, I said, hey Carmen, come on, let's go downtown. She said, I gotta go, but my friend can stick around. Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny, and put the load right on me. Go down, Miss Moses, there ain't nothing that you can see. It's just old Luke, and Luke's waiting on Judgment Day. Well, Luke, my friend, what about young Annalie? Said, do me a favor, son, won't you stay and keep Annalie company? Take a load off Annie, take a load for free. Take a load off Annie, and put the load right on me. Crazy Chester followed me, and he caught me in the fog. He said, I will fix your rack if you'll take old Jack, my dog. I said, wait a minute, Chester, you know I'm a peaceful man. He said, that's okay, boy, won't you feed him when you can? Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny, and put the load right on me. Catch a cannonball now and take me on down the line. My bag is sinking low, and I do believe it's time to get back to Miss Fanny. me. Yay! Like I say, I am looking forward to being out in the real world with you all, but it is wonderful to spend time here together, investing actually, not spending. We are investing because we are building, building, building. You know it. I know it. We feel it. So on this Scorpio full moon, make sure to reflect on where we've come in the past month or so, where we've come even in the past year, since the last time the Scorpio full moon would be here. And Scorpio is one for letting go. Scorpio is fine on their own. Scorpio never feels in between. Scorpio knows that they've got them. And it doesn't mean that we don't have community, but it is about keeping those boundaries, those beautiful boundaries intact, and that self-worth on an all-time high, and remembering that you and I are not just wizards, but we are all things, including kings and queens and emperors and empresses. And actually, we are one with all. So literally, we are the cosmos in a body. And so thanks for sharing your celestial self with the collective today. And whenever this finds you, it's perfect time to remember to reflect, to renew, and to release. So as we release, we do renew. And that's why the full moon is not so much of a time to plant those seeds and manifest as it is to reflect on what's happened and really give gratitude and give grace to allow things to flow away that are meant to flow away. And then on the new moon, we would plant more intentions. But it's always a wonderful day, every divine day, to set our intentions, because intentions is the magic. So as we reflect, to release, to renew, we also look at what that renewal will look like and where we're going to be and what that's going to feel like, fellow wizards, because I know we're going to be together. And that makes me really, really happy. And I love you so much. Mwah. And I'll see you next Magic Monday, 333, if all is well. And it will be either way. If I'm not feeling well after this little health thing that's coming up, then there may be a pause in action next week, but I have a feeling we will be here next Monday, 333. And who knows, even I might be here just doing some card readings in the meantime. And if I am, and if I'm practicing and stuff and I'm feeling it, I will put on the live and you will be the first to know, especially if you hit the bell and make sure you set it to all so that it will let you know when I'm buzzing in. And thanks so much for being here on YouTube at Mojo and Magic. And I love you. Me, Melissa Mojo, be your bee friend always. Mwah. Sending you sweetness and an extra blast of cosmic rainbow energy. Yeah. Enjoy that moon. And remember, you have about 3 more days to do a little bit more intention about that reflecting, releasing, and bringing in what we're meant to receive. Mwah. You have a great day too. Thank you. Love ya. Bye-bye.